It is the modern left liberal culture formed by social media algorithms. To elaborate, it is characterized by cult-like adherence to their social orthodoxy. That's it.
That's the part that y'all missed. Now, Tim, I watch your show. Vivek, we've been on Fox Nation together. You're my homeboy. Like, we're cool. Like, I have no beef. I'm just saying, this is not, y'all are wrong on this. So I saw Vivek Ramaswamy and Tim Poole discussing what is the core problems of what's going on in America. We know the woke stuff. They were discussing basically, we know it's gender ideology, critical race theory, climate. We know all these things are sort of hinged on woke. But what does woke actually come from? How do you get to the root of the problem? That was a very important discussion that Tim Poole and Vivek, who's running for president, were discussing. And quite frankly, they missed a major point about woke and what's really going on. So I want to give my commentary on what I see as the real problem. I'm studying this for quite some time now and looking at this from a root problem and how we can solve it. So let's take a look at what they said and let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Let's go.
He is looking at one element of that is within the woke sphere and then saying that's what woke is. And then I heard your definition. I will tell you my view of what woke is, and it's very, very simple. It is the modern left liberal culture formed by social media algorithms. To elaborate, it is characterized by cult-like adherence to their social orthodoxy. That's it. So if I want to dive deeper and explain what these things are, the reason why it's whack-a-mole, the reason why there doesn't seem to be any kind of actual core element to what they believe is, well, there is no faith structure. There's no moral structure. It is quite literally right now. If I make a video on Instagram, what will get the most clicks? Dylan Mulvaney, very big in the news, especially because of the Bud Light thing, getting more and more famous by the minute, but controversially famous. If you look at Dylan Mulvaney's TikTok history, what do you see? The earliest videos were about animals. Then it was about some Broadway stories. Then it was I'm gay and with animals. Then it was nature hikes. These things weren't working. Dylan Mulvaney comes out as non-binary, hundreds of thousands of views.
Right.
Dylan Mulvaney one-ups this into trans, 1 million views. Dylan Mulvaney then hit the nail on the head with the hammer in the algorithm. Day 1 of being a girl, day 2 of being a girl, to guarantee that people had a reason to see the next degree being one-upped every day. It is masterfully done.
Totally.
So
let me make an observation about that. Okay, because this is we're also having this discussion on the back of a couple weeks where there's been a lot of discussion about the role of AI and the dangers of AI in our culture. Okay.
Oh boy.
AI, you want to know one of the dangers of AI you can just see right here today doesn't have to do with robots with laser eyes. Maybe we'll deal with that in the future. This is actually AI. Dylan Mulvaney is a creature of AI. That is the robot with laser eyes.
Yes.
Because
Skynet.
It's that we think that Twitter or TikTok or whatever is imitating life. This is life imitating TikTok in the real world because this was trained by the algorithm. That is the robot.
Yes.
It is the robot. So what's going on? We said we have the hollow, the black hole, the void. Something's going to prey on that void. We have some sense that it might be a human being. Well, some human beings do. Some activists might. We have some sense that it might be Larry Fink or whatever, the financial types that have actually financial objectives from being able to prey on those insecurities to achieve their own ends. AI itself is in part built on algorithmically preying upon that vacuum. And Mark Zuckerberg's one is its ability to know something about you. And I think that that's slightly different than the thing we're talking about with the Dylan Mulvaney problem, where it's having a discursive impact on changing you. So this is the equivalent of, okay, Facebook discovers that you were going to want that coffee, but whether or not Facebook existed around that time, you were going to want that coffee.
Yep.
The Dylan Mulvaney thing is different. Dylan Mulvaney was not going to become a trans, I have to get this straight every time. I guess you would call her a trans woman.
Woman. Yeah.
So, okay. Yeah. I mean, it's just, takes a second. Yeah. So trans woman would be the distinction, right? Somebody who's acting like a man,
a male who wants to
acting
be
like
a
woman.
woman.
Yes, so it's a trans woman, right? So Dylan Mulvaney would not be a trans woman were it not for those TikTok algorithms, because it's not like getting the coffee. This was causally a change, and that's, I think, a distinction.
So Matt Walsh has a couple viral videos from the speech that he gave in, I think it was New Mexico, and a trans woman, a biological male who wants to be a woman or identifies as such, asks him questions. He responds with, "How do you know you're a woman? How did you find out you are a woman, or you believe you are?" And this trans woman said, "I was listening to a podcast from another trans woman describing their experience, and I said, that's my experience too." And it was fascinating. Matt Walsh then says, "But that's not a woman, it's a trans person. You're not hearing a woman's experience." Simply put, if this individual never heard that show, was never fed that show, the show was placed in front of them, they would not think they were a woman.
That's right.
It was given to them by the machine.
This is wrong. And let me tell you why this is wrong. Years ago, John Money, who is considered the founding father of gender ideology, that the idea that gender is a social construct. He did an experiment on twins. One twin was when he went to go do a circumcision, it went bad and he was mutilated. And so somehow John Money is hooked up with these parents, and he convinces them to raise this boy as a girl. The boy figures out something's wrong all his life. Like, they literally try to make this little boy be a girl. It goes totally awry. The little boy ends up killing himself. His twin brother ends up killing himself as well. It's a very tragic story. And pretty much people were done with that because it was obvious that this was bad. Now, we did not have the internet then when this was happening. We did not have this mass influx of information at your hand, at your fingertips. However, what Vivek and Tim are missing is the understanding of schooling. The priming rather, of getting your mind at a level to even accept something as ridiculous as thinking that men can be women and women can be men was already set, regardless of an AI, regardless of a Facebook, regardless of data. The priming of many Americans' minds were already set. Remember, the Frankfurt School came over to Columbia University in the 20s. That was Karl Marx's, and that was their school. So this has long been into the atmosphere of America. Communism has long been in the atmosphere of America. Otherwise, if it was just AI, if it was merely an AI thing that was just pushing this information to the young people, how do you explain all of these adults who are following along with it? Vivek himself says that his own company gave him crap about him not making a BLM statement about George Floyd. How do you explain all of these adults who have signed up for this idea? This is not merely an AI data-driven problem. And my issue with this is, if that's what you're going to make the problem, you're going to miss it. This is a communist problem. This is an education problem. America has lost its ability to properly educate its society. We've long lost it. The whole American education system was built from a communist idea system. This whole education system is flawed. It's not meant to educate you. It is meant to dumb you down. Most people are sent through the American mass compulsory schooling system, which is an indoctrination camp. It was literally set up for you to be dumbed down, for the imagination to be killed, and for you to become minions of the state. That is the problem. Think about it. That is where everybody, pretty much all Americans, go through this system. That is where people are getting their information. So if you're getting your information from the system and you're not being educated in that system, it is no wonder why we are churning out mindless idiots. It's no wonder. This is not about data. This is not about AI. Yeah, there are that hasn't helped for sure. That hasn't helped. But the moment Dylan Mulvaney, if there had not been a priming of the mind, if there had not been a thought reformation of the mind, when Dylan Mulvaney came out, just like when John Money did that, and people were like, okay, yeah, this is crazy, we're not doing that anymore. If there had not been that thought reformation, it would have been dismissed. No, this would not even be a thing. The minds of the people have been filled with communistic ideas, meaning America's bad, free markets are bad, America is only, Black people, all you are slaves, and Jim Crow. That's the only thing that makes you relevant. White people are evil. All of these things, because the idea of communism is to agitate the margins, agitate minorities, or the fringe groups. In which I'm not saying that Black people are fringe, but I'm just saying like the minority of the society. Agitate them, get them irritated about topics, and force them into the mainstream. That's the tactic. And because that's what happened with that agitation, then the algorithms and all that comes into play. But that doesn't happen unless the schooling happens. That's the part that y'all missed. Now, Tim, I watch your show. Vivek, we've been on Fox Nation together. We are, you're my homeboy. Like, we're cool. Like, I have no beef. I'm just saying, this is not, y'all are wrong on this. And this needs to be corrected. The problem is not the AI. The problem is the schooling. Kids have not been schooled. Kids have not been educated to know about value and morals. They have not been educated to understand the importance of America. They have not been even their parents have not been educated to that. I have family members very, very, very close to me who have property and say, I think socialism is good. They don't know what socialism is. I have family that cannot separate their faith from their voting. They cannot do it because they have been indoctrinated into one way of thinking. It is a cult. The Democrat Party has become a cult, and they own the public school system. They own the public school system. They own the corporations. They own the church. They have captured every major institution. And they have implemented their communistic, Marxist, socialist, whatever you want. It's all the same thing. It all leads to the same thing, just government control over everything. They have been indoctrinated, cultified into that. And Tim does mention, a cult, but he doesn't understand that that's the crux of the issue. You have to decultify these people. You have to educate them. They've been schooled, but not educated. And I don't mean to speak so harshly about it. I'm not mad or anything, but this is y'all are big voices. And that, like, if we go off into like, AI is the problem, that's not going to fix it. What is going to happen in real life when a person comes up to you and says, oh, I'm a boy and I think I'm a girl? If your mind has not been schooled, indoctrinated, if your mind has not already been thought reformed, you're going to reject that because you know that is not true. Even something as simple as guns. Oh, the guns are the problem. How in the world have we gotten to a point where we have a large part of society that thinks that the inanimate object is the problem and not the heart of the people? Like, that is not AI. That's a problem of education. It's a heart problem. Come on, y'all. Like, this is not, I am like shocked, honestly. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments section below, but I'm just not sad. This is unacceptable. Tim Poole is a very smart man. Vivek Ramaswamy is a very smart man. And this whole idea that, people have just been AI'd to death. They've been AI'd, they've been dated, into this thing is wrong. No, they have been compulsory schooled. This is old. This is old. This is not new. The communists have been here. They have been here. They have long taken over the institutions. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. What do you guys think we could do about this? Thank you so much for watching. I love you for watching. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.